Good evening, good morning, or whatever time it is for you. Welcome to the Binary Ninja live stream. I am Jordan. Welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks. I think we're going to get into a regular schedule now of every other week. So we're kind of going to have like a TikTok where I will be live 1 week. And then in the off weeks, what we're actually going to do is be uploading the edited streams. So you'll start to see, I think next Friday, the first one will come out, past week streams without the mistakes and well, some of the mistakes, like the good mistakes where I learned something will be left in, but like the wasted space or ums and ahs or stuff like that will be kind of edited out, a little more concise. Maybe some of the more chit chat from chat will be gone, but you'll get just kind of a little more concentrated serving of Binary Ninja. The other way you can get an even higher dose of Binary Ninja, the not from concentrate version or the from concentrate version, I'm not sure which analogy works better, but is the Binary Ninja basics. So I mentioned this last time. The first video is already up, and you'll start seeing a couple more of those come live as well. And Binary Ninja Basics are excerpts from these live streams that are condensed down to be on a particular topic and just to learn a particular feature or workflow or something specific with Binary Ninja. So we'll do one of those shortly here to kind of kick this stream off as well. So let's start with closed issues this week in Binary Ninja. Again, because it's been 2 weeks since we last met, we've got a lot of bugs and issues and features and things that have landed. So I'm going to kind of quickly scan through those, and we're going to look and just talk about what's changed in the last couple of weeks. That's right. Yeah, Game Mind. Thanks for tuning into that. Right. So one of the reasons we did not do the stream last week was because we had a different event going on. If you follow us on Twitter, which you should, because then you get all of our updates, of course. We don't really tweet a whole lot either. So last week at KernelCon, I made a little challenge for Chris Eagle. I think it's I don't know if it's still on Twitch, but it's on their Hacking Esports YouTube English channel. I think has the link to it. There it is, right there. So they've got a playlist up there. You can go check out Chris Eagle solving my Amongthem challenge. And also, if you didn't get a chance to see Joe Grand's setup, that was a lot of fun too. So I love the idea of hardware hacking. I'm not much of a hardware hacker, so it was super fun to watch Joe Grand just tearing all these little hardware challenges. And it was a lot of stuff. There was so many different things, and he's just super nice guy, super entertaining. That was a really fun one as well too. I highly recommend that. Unfortunately, I missed some of the earlier ones because I was preparing for mine. Some of you may remember I even said on stream 2 weeks ago, oh, that's a preview for something else, and that was because I think I had an older version of this challenge open if Chris Eagle watches these streams. Spoiler, I'm pretty sure he doesn't, but if he did, he could have gotten a little bit of a head start, although I think I changed the challenge a fair amount from there. If we have time later, maybe we can talk about that for those of you who missed it. I also showed 2 weeks ago the preview build of multi-dimensional arrays and the nice array support in Binary Ninja, and that's been on dev for a little while now, so hopefully you've had a chance to play with it. If not, no worries. Next time it's something you would use, go check it out. So now, only the bugs closed in the last 2 weeks, sorting my most recently updated, so we can go start to old. Let's see. Yeah, we've had Apple Silicon support. We just didn't close the bug. But if you're on the Qt6 branch of Binary Ninja, which actually I think it turns out this one happens to be the Qt6 test branch, at some point, we haven't totally decided that we're going to have Qt6 be the main and only version of Binary Ninja. But now, to sort of help the transition, we've got a separate test branch. And so when you go to the updates, you can pull it from there. Oh, this is fun. Yeah. Variable storage information for tooltips. So I haven't tried this one yet. I think I have my tooltips turned off because I usually don't like them popping up. There we go. So now if you hover over a variable, the tooltip here has some nice information, right? So you get the type. If you've got like the value set analysis or range analysis, you get that. Like the tooltip is actually really, really helpful now. I used to turn it off primarily because if you hovered over like an offset or a function call, you would get like a big selection, which I didn't always want. Although actually sometimes you do want that, and you can hold the control key down, or is it control or shift? Actually it's alt, it looks like. And then it keeps that up and you can just scroll in there. Same thing even if it's like a function call, and that's gonna be an import, yeah. So you're just gonna get the PLT entry, but you get that pop up, you can hold down alt and you can scroll around and look inside of it. But usually when I'm like gesturing or pointing with the cursor, like on stream in particular or teaching or something, I don't like the pop-ups because they kind of get in my way. So I usually turn that off. That's under the settings tooltip. There's a manual tooltip. So if you see me turning that on and off, that's why I'm doing that. And so yeah, if we select a variable, we get the type for the variable and the storage backing. If it's a temp variable, if it's a stack variable, there you go. You can actually see the stack offset just from the tooltip. So that's a nice one. Addresses should be displayed. Oh yeah, that's actually a kind of nice one. I think that is, yeah, that's a good one too. So addresses will never get displayed as signed. Like if it actually has a type that it's a pointer, it will never display as signed, which makes sense. Like, yeah, I don't know of any system that would ever represent a pointer as a negative value, so that seemed pretty straightforward. Well, here's a nice little quality of life function, but if you create a user function, the return value of that function will be the function object, which is a small little quality of life thing instead of having to then get back that function and query it based on the address that you just made. Like that's just the return from that function. So that's a little bit cleaner there. Yeah, function parameters with setters in Python. There's some more work that we need to do with setters in Python and making sure we really clarify which things are live or not. Because you can have like an object in Python, and some of them are sort of disconnected from the core. Like if I take a function in Binary Ninja, like the current function, this one's start, right? Or it's currently main, right? And I set the name is equal to something else. That changes, right? Because this function object I have is a live object. But some things like a variable right now, variables aren't necessarily live. And there's some reasons for that, because sometimes you want to create like a sort of Pythonic version of a variable. You want to pass it to some other core function that does something with it. And it's a kind of subtle thing. It's a little weird. And I think there's a little bit of tweaking we want to do to the API just to make that really smooth so that you can tell if I have an object, what expectations would I have in this? If I change a property, is it reflected in the core, or is it read-only, or what's going to happen with it? So you'll see more of that coming, but that's what that particular issue is related to. Automatic structure creation. So this is a duplicate of an existing bug, but this is actually coming. So this one is underway, and these are on some test branches. So maybe next week, or in 2 weeks, if it's not landed yet on dev, we'll take a look at those test branches and play with them. But there's some really nice related features that will automatically create structures and then automatically populate based on accesses to those structures. Like if they're in a global memory, it'll create the structure of a particular size, and then it will find, okay, this offset is referenced from these functions, this offset is referenced from these functions. So the nice thing is this is not just like within a function, I say, like, make me a structure, and all the references within that function, but literally globally throughout the whole program, anywhere there is a cross-reference to an offset within that global variable, it will actually be like, oh, okay, well, that's a reference to that offset. You can get a much more complete view of the structure that way. So that's a nifty feature that's in development. It's going to be really nice. Oh, that's right. That was the other one that changed. That sort of tooltip, the hover preview. Theoretically, those tooltips will also show you more information about what field we're accessing in a structure, I think. Oh, wait, maybe it's actually closed. Maybe that's why. That one's still open. Never mind. I thought that was actually landed. It just got marked as a dupe. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it'd be great for variables. And then that's the one that got turned into a separate issue and actually just implemented. Yeah, like this bug, setting a variable's name in Python has no effect. That's that exact liveness debate that I was talking about earlier of sort of like, when should you expect a change to a property in an object in Python to be immediately reflected in the core? And when are you just sort of changing the Python copy that you have? This one's related to collaboration, but it basically allows multiple users to collaborate the same B2B without having their kind of navigation history entangled. Oh, there's a couple of type view enhancements. This is nice too. So in the types view, several new fun things. These are probably my favorite, I think, for the week landed. So the first one is, this was there before, right? So I think this was in a couple months ago, or I think it was previous stream we showed this, right? You can switch from auto all to user. I like user. I've been lobbying to make that a default. We'll probably change that before the next stable. But you can collapse structures, right? And actually can use arrow keys. Oh, okay. We need to fix that, Josh. You gotta be able to use left and right. Up and down should navigate, but left and right here should open and close. For sure. But yep, absolutely. You can shrink up large structures. So if there's ones you don't want to see, that's a very nice one. The collapsing is a little thing, but I think that definitely makes quality of life better for the type view. So I've been wanting, if you go back to like 6 months ago with the stream, I was, talking about some of these quality of life things. And like, this is one of them that was saying like the type view just needs some love, and it's gotten some love. In fact, Josh, I think, did both of these changes. These are nice. Just like that ability there, as well as the filtering and the searching. Yeah, it's filtering down, like to be able to just like select stuff there is super nice. Yeah, collapsible types, big fan. Big fan. We definitely need to get keyboard navigation open close. Should be pretty straightforward, but that's a great one. Which one is this? List invalid non-member. Oh, yeah, so this one is related. So this one is list invalid or non-member structure accesses, right? This is that partway step to that automatic structure creation that I mentioned. So you can tell that like, oh, it just references some offset. And I wonder if you get this, actually, I might be able to like find this via registers T. So yeah, if I find one of these, oh, and by the way, this is, will cross-references still work on the whole structure if I just like this? Yeah, it does. That's pretty nice. Yeah, so you can collapse all the types, and then you can just kind of look, I'm looking through like the cross-references list while I just select the type here, and being able to like quickly scan the types, that's very nice. So I think this particular BNDB, which I had marked up, well, actually, I think Dustin had originally marked this up for something he was working on, and I borrowed it because I liked it as a great kind of sample binary. Most of these accesses are actually currently documented. Well, actually here, yeah, here's a good way we can test this. If we have, oh no, yeah, again on this BNB, I just haven't set that many types, I think. But yeah, I think the idea is that you would see cross references here. I'm not positive. And Taro, you're not alone. There are definitely people that prefer graph over linear. In fact, you'll notice even the Binary Ninja developers, when we first launched Binary Ninja, we technically didn't have linear view. It was only graph. It was only for like a couple months. But the very, very, very first builds did not actually even have a linear view at all. It was just graph. For disassembly, I vastly prefer graph view. I have found myself though, what like my preferred way of doing things is I'll have reflection view with something like this. Reflection view with assembly, and then high level IL over here. This has become sort of like, I think, my favorite view. Yeah, and just to reiterate too, that the navigation history stays between opens. Oh, that was also part of that change. Oh, that's cool. CPU step is a good one. Let's save the BNDB and let's close it. Oops. All right, Control S, not Command S. Close it. I don't even know if I have to save it. Let's find out. And reopen it. Yep, I'm still there. But if I close it, now it's on ADC, and I reopen it. Yeah, it is only if you save it. That makes sense. That's the behavior I'd want. Yeah, so that's nice. I gotcha. That was the change that Josh added into. That is also one of those little quality of life things that helps out a lot. Plugin manager. Yeah, so plugin manager has definitely had some growing pains. I mean, there's a fantastic new feature, right, which is that it will automatically install dependencies, but there are, I think, still two platforms that need a little bit of tweaks. One is if you are using either Windows or Mac and you're using just the Binary Ninja built-in Python. So if you haven't gone to your settings and changed your Python interpreter to specify some other version of Python. If you're on Linux, we just automatically use the system Python, so it's always kind of worked better. If you don't have any of those set up, then the automatic plugin dependency installation has, I think, some known bugs in it right now. So those will get ironed out before the next stable. And again, even if you're on dev, you can just install Python or point it at an existing Python, and it will just work, and it will like automatically install some things. So there's a couple of related bugs to that have gotten cleaned up. And then also, it's worth pointing out that John, who I don't know if he's on the stream today or not, our summer intern, who we're pretty excited about, is already jumped. He started this week, and you'll notice this little icon over here. That's his GitHub icon. He's been pretty active. So he came in with like a list of all these things he was excited to change, little stuff here and there that he had noticed because he really likes UI, UX, and fonts and all that stuff. And so we were excited. Actually, he's been on stream, so if you guys have tuned in for a while, you've already seen him. And yeah, so he's got a number of fixes that are already in. So among them, I don't know if this will even show up down here, but the tooltip on this is just a little bit more descriptive, kind of tells you what's going on. There's some big font changes, however. So the way that fonts are done, you'll be able to change the fonts a little bit better between not only the monospace font that's used in like linear view and graph view, but also all the UI fonts around it. So there's so much more consistent behavior with the fonts and font selection. All those changes haven't landed yet on dev, so those are coming soon. But he did, yeah, he started this first enhancement that landed is a part of that, so you can set the interface fonts. Yeah, a few other like just some minor fix-ups that he found. So we always challenge people, like, see if you can land a fix your first day of the job. You got to get your build environment set up. You got to get, Binary Ninja going, and then you got to submit a PR or something that's that's safe to have other people review it and land it. So he had a couple of fixes. He was working on that. Oh, also, yeah, I want to do that too. This is one I actually haven't seen yet, but the plugin manager actually has this little tooltip here. Yeah, so that help text behind the scenes, which if you hovered there, you got more details about some of these keywords, but you get even just a hint that that's a thing that you might do now with the text behind it. Really just trying to make that a little bit more discoverable, which I think is nice because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of little theme-related stuff. If you've ever published a Binary Ninja theme, you should talk to John. Go in the Slack, talk to John, because he has not only made the best Binary Ninja theme, which is reflection, which is the one I'm currently rocking here. I use like on all my machines now, but has also been really finding some interesting edge cases and improving a lot of existing themes. So his expertise is fantastic on that, and he can really help you clean up your themes to make them look good. Yeah, just a little, there's already a warning there. That was a little bit that got closed. Transformation dialog is now non-modal. Okay, yeah. So I think that covers the changes from the last couple weeks. Now, before I forget, GameMind, you asked earlier, and we're going to hit this now, the milestones. So you'll notice the milestones have changed. We are very transparent. We tend to talk a lot about like our roadmap and what's coming next, but that changes. The downside is that sometimes what we think we're going to do and what we decide, or we may go back and revisit things or change priorities and bump something up earlier and something else later. And in this particular case, what we had was we're currently on 2.3, and then the build number goes at the end of it. So this is an always incrementing universal build number across all of our builds, that the last 4 digits. And that's really useful because we can ask person what build they're on and just get that. And that tells us, exactly what symbols to match up and that kind of thing. But then the 2.3 is sort of like the major family. I don't think this is technically semantic versioning the way that we're doing it. We do tend to do breaking changes in the major and other stuff in the minor, but we add tons of stuff in a minor release. And then again, we just kind of use the 4-digit one to track unique builds. So we had planned on going from 2.3 to a 3.0. And 3.0 was going to be that because it was going to be kind of breaking in some ways, right? So I think Qt6 was one of those that we originally planned. We said, look, Qt6, it's going to break some old plugins. You got to go from like PySide 2 to PySide 6. And if you want to be compatible with both, you got to update your plugins. So we'll do that in a 3.0. There's a couple other API related changes that we've got kind of queued up that we wanted to okay, we're probably going to land these on 3.0 because now's the time. If you ever have anything that you've been deprecating or you wanted to kind of change now, we'll revisit it for a 3.0. But the biggest change that was going to come with that was a real kind of rethinking of the UI. And so that was kind of based on VS Code, which I've probably mentioned before, but we love stealing design cues from Visual Studio Code because they've got just good design chops. And I think it's a really well designed product, and so I really like to see how they've solved particular things. Not always, I don't always agree with everything that they've done, but I think it really strikes a balance between a powerful tool with lots of capability and features, but still not cluttering up the UI, still keeping the default view relatively clean, even with a lot of plugins and extensions installed. One of their big things is this sidebar panel here, right? So you've got these different sidebar items that are persistent, they're always on, and so they're kind of context sensitive to whatever you're currently looking at for the most part, not always the way Visual Studio Code does, but it's one of the distinctions that I think we're going to make. So for example, if I search and find something, the idea is that whatever project I'm looking at in my current tab, I can maybe search and find all of the instances of something in there. So likewise in Binary Ninja, maybe you've got all of the types for the binary that you're currently looking at, maybe on the sidebar, right? Because you can probably fit most of the type information there, or at least filter it down. And then sometimes it's nice not to flip back and forth between the types view. Snippets are another one. The snippet editor in Binary Ninja, which I think I have installed. Right, it's a great feature. Oh, that syntax highlighting looks pretty good with reflection. I don't know if I've tried that recently. So little pieces of Python code that you kind of want to run, but right now it's this little dialog box. There is a branch you can test where it's a dock widget, and then you could kind of move it around. So maybe you've got it docked over on the side or something, but it doesn't fit real well as a dock widget right now the way that it's built. But I think that's another one that would look really good as a sidebar. So maybe you have your file browser up top here, and then below it you've got your box, your Python you're writing. So being able to see that at the same time. There's all sorts of stuff, tags, cross-references, things that would belong over here, I think will become part of this new UI refactor. So you've got these little icons, you've got the panels you can switch between. There's still some experimentation with this. We don't have it exactly figured out. This is gonna be one of the things we're gonna try it, we're gonna see it, see what works and what doesn't. But the current plan is that this 3.0 refactor is going to really change the way the sidebar works. We'll probably still leave things like the scripting console and the log window at the bottom. Even Visual Studio Code does that. If you do like a build or you create a terminal, it still actually pops those up kind of at the bottom. So it's pretty consistent with the way we do things as well. Something like a feature map is very equivalent to a scroll bar. So, if you're editing a file and they've got the little mini map here on the side, that's very similar to how our feature map would work. Oh, that's I don't remember what I was doing here, but testing something out. So yeah, that's the big 3.0 refactor. There's a lot of kind of behind the scenes stuff that comes along with that. One thing that I think I may have mentioned on stream before that kind of irks me is right now I'm looking at this binary that I've got open, and if I open a new tab, The new tab widget doesn't have that sidebar. So now what was on the left side of the screen has moved off the edge, and now the tabs have rearranged themselves, right? So I can't just click a tab and it stays in the same place. Things are kind of bouncing around. So that's another kind of minor thing that we're not real pleased with the current design. And of course that panel sidebar will move a lot of these things on the side to just be fixed panels that you would switch between, but they're always there. And then that would mean that the tabs stay consistent. So maybe they're empty, like if you're on the types view, much like if you're in Visual Studio Code and you're on find, but then you open a new tab. Why is Control T not doing what I expect? That's weird. Nope. Oh, Control N, there we go. Yeah, like there's no find results, whereas maybe there were find results for this. So you'll see that that's kind of set context sensitive to whatever you have currently selected. So likewise, you might see that with Binary Gel. Like if I'm on the remote browser or if I'm on the plugin manager, the plugin manager itself maybe actually belongs on the sidebar. We don't know. Some of those we're gonna have to kind of experiment with. So that was the big change for 3.0. And we actually looked back over what we've done with the current builds, and we looked at how much work we think is left in 3.0 and decided let's get a release out sooner. So the current plan is we're gonna do a new stable release called 2.4. And everything that we've previously done to this point is actually here. Let me change this filter and we'll just look at the issues we've got tagged as 2.4. And then actually, let's go look at 3.0 as well on the side. So 3.0, technically, there's a lot of things that we're aimed more for 3.0, but they're already done. So they're just in the 2.4 as a closer. So this is now the new 3.0. And these milestones are not set in stone. They never are, even though they're called milestones, funnily enough. And so 2.4, you'll see is, let's see, 7 open bugs and 59 closed, right? So 2.4 is actually pretty close. There's a lot less features that are waiting on a 2.4. And once we ship 2.4, we'll go back and we'll probably add some to the 3.0 release cycle, things that we plan to get that. But the major UI refactor is not gonna be coming then in the 2.4. That'll hold off for the 3.0, as well as any of the kind of breaking API changes. So the only things left are a couple bugs. I think we need to make one for I'm gonna make a note of it. The plugin manager, I mentioned earlier on the stream, the plugin manager defaults on Mac and Windows dependency installation. It doesn't currently work. I think that one needs to be on the 2.4 as well. Creating auto structs is coming. Yeah. Edit function UI. So this is another one that John's actually working on. This is the being able to like pull up a function and say, tell me everything you know about this particular function. What's the type of this function? What are the variables of this function potentially, or what are the properties of it? Is it a no return, or does it have, there's all sorts of stuff you can do for that. And so just having like one UI where you can maybe look at all that stuff in one instead of getting it to right now via the API is the only real way you can get that. That's the one that's coming. And as I said, that auto struct, which is actually already kind of a lot of the pieces are ready or close to ready. That one should be coming soon. And then a couple of other bugs that are going to get fixed. So that one's actually looking pretty close to coming out. So we'll probably have, what is the current release date actually on? 2.4 still says June 1st. Yeah. So we'll see. We're going to replan out and figure out exactly what those are. Like I said, we're going to rebalance some of these potentially, especially after we do 2.4, we'll probably pull in some more 3.0 features. And when we put together a blog post and go over all the major features, there's a lot. I mean, you've seen like every one of these videos the last couple of weeks, there's like some really nice features that have landed. So I'm super happy with 2.4, even not having the UI refresh. I think it's going to still be a pretty major release with, like, you just look at what's landed on it. There's a ton of stuff. All right, so that's our recap for the week. That is our milestone rebalancing. I talked about how the schedule, again, weekly, we're going to be moved to every other week schedule for the videos. We've debated, GameMind, we have debated whether or not you overwrite multiple bytes should provide a warning, but undo is fast and easy unless it's a monstrous function. Now what we do, you will notice though, even if you do so, let's test this. This should work. Like, let's say I overwrite, if I multi-line edit this line, right? So this is 6 bytes originally, and I tell it move EAX, which 32-bit is 5 bytes. I actually don't know on 64-bit if it's going to be. Right, it is, good. So you'll notice that it properly padded out to the next, to the length there, but it will also, if I overwrite the next thing, it will also pad out to that. It won't necessarily tell me. So if I change this, like, right, I'm obviously going to overwrite more than was there before. And so it will realign me to the next instruction by padding it down, but it doesn't tell me like, hey, by the way, you just blew away the another instruction. It was just sort of a conscious choice because, all right, it's fast and we hope people would sort of notice or look. We have thought about it. It's been asked before. At least anyway, now I don't think we have plans to change it. We might put that behind like a preference though. If people want that on, they could like warn me if I edit past current instruction. It would be pretty easy to implement. I think when we first decided not to do it is because it was like early enough we didn't even have the full settings system that we have now, where it's easier to tweak it according to your preferences. Actually, wait a minute. Interesting. File. Okay, so file lock doesn't prevent explicit assembly, which I think is probably okay, because you literally have to select something, hit E and hit enter. So the default file lock is more against like accidental overrides, like pasting a value or typing when you're in hex view and not realizing that you've just edited a value, and less about like compilation. We have been running our collaboration beta. This is the collaboration server, and I'll think anybody's uploaded anything else new. Yeah, so this is actually a version of Binary Ninja connected to our beta collaboration server. We have one online, and if you're interested in joining our beta collaboration server, the only requirement is you do currently have to have a commercial license. Collaboration will first be coming out for our enterprise version of the product, but we do plan to have it come out in some form for all of our users too. Just trying to figure out what the details of that look like. But been playing around with that a lot and testing it, and I thought I might work on the Crazybomb exercise a little bit more. I haven't seen Fox on stream yet, so Fox is usually the one who's wanting to see me suffer on it. I really would prefer to suffer with somebody else on the hook with me, so I have somebody to talk on a chat with it. It's hard to both monitor the stream, provide running commentary, and do RE all at the same time. I'm curious, amongst the people on the stream, how many saw the Amongthem challenge? I might actually just kind of do an overview of that because I want to show off some things that I think are pretty nice about it. I did not build things to break Ida or Ghidra, even though I suspected Chris Eagle would use Ida, but I did think about it. It was tempting. Yes, so JC, I called the challenge Amongthem. It is a spoof of Among Us, which is funny because you can even see there's like the little character here. No! Okay, so yeah, we're going to talk about that game mine because that was not a trick. That was just Ida messing up. It looks fine in Binja. It looks fine in Source. Ida was just wrong. There are things Ida does better though than Binja on this particular binary. So I took some snapshots of latest Ida decomp and latest Binary Ninja decomp straight out of the box and analyzed them both side by side. And I'm pretty happy. I think Binja stands up really well. The only things that I did clearly better were sort of automatically identifying some of the array accesses. Like, I don't remember why there's worms. Uh-oh, somebody's joined. This is why I got the headphones on. Let me go see here.
I'm here to save the day again.
Yay, we got Josh here. All right, wow, well, see, does that mean I got to do Crazybomb then? We're going to go dive into that. Or, well, we could do Amongthem really fast. It's pretty easy. I'll show off just the quick Amongthem stuff, and then we'll go play with Crazybomb and take a poke at that again. I don't even remember where we're at on it. So one thing, and actually it's good that you're on, Josh, because you added some of our Unicode multi-code block like support where you could add support for any different of these Unicode encodings, which is what makes the Braille stuff look so good. So this is like the Braille emoji Among Us character.
You can just see the main menu there.
Yeah, so this worked really well. Now, I did have to do one thing, though. I did make two changes. So the Binja didn't do that right out of the gate. Neither did Ida. I want to point out, Chris Eagle had the same problem. I think Igor actually like DM'd him. It was like, you need to change this setting, because he even asked on stream. He was like, I don't know how to get that to display. So you'll see this. This is one setting I changed. It's not default, which is I added Braille patterns to the Unicode block. You can actually add all of these if you really want. It'd be nice if there was an add all button, come to think of it. But like, if you know something is using particular encodings, you could add all of them to it, and Binary Ninja will automatically look for strings that would match that encoding, basically, and display them for you. And so that's what will get it recognizing the Braille, right? So that shows that. The other thing I did is the default string annotation length is much shorter. Minimum string length is 4. That's there we go, rendering. And this is specifically just a sort of UI display feature of like, if I've got a string reference in high-level IL or in the IL as I'm rendering it, up to how many characters do you want to show? And that is much, much smaller by default. It is 32 by default, and I cranked it way up to 200 just because I really wanted that beautiful wide menu to be shown. And I even had oh, that's right. This is the other thing that I want to do in this particular view is I want to show what we missed out on Chris Eagle's stream, because he missed some of the Easter eggs that I put in here for him. I was hoping he would hit these on stream. So you can see all the strings in here. You can see like the dead character, or he's just got X'd out eyes when you died. This one doesn't have all of that. Hold up. This is the old version of the binary. Let me make sure I have the latest one. Okay, so let's do this actually. So Josh, if you're looking at the binary on the server, I'm gonna upload a new one. So
Cool. I'm actually building
oh,
right
good.
now.
All right, well, good then. You must. I'm gonna delete the old one, and I'm gonna upload a new file, and I'm gonna go stream samples Amongthem. And you'll notice, by the way, like I like to, that's really fast. That binary is quick. Not particularly huge, but it loads nice. Yeah, okay, there we go. This has the debug references. So you can tell I didn't cheat because I uploaded the binary fresh. All right, let's do disassembly and high level IL up here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so here was my Easter eggs that didn't make it onto stream because Chris didn't poke around in linear view between functions enough to see some of these unreferenced strings that I left in the binary. So one thing I want to show you in Binja is if you just select them all and hit A, it's kind of nice. It'll like create C-style strings of like multiple things in a row. So did you know at certain optimization levels, the compiler leaves in dead code and unreferenced strings, question mark? Like, clearly, that is an unreferenced string. It's just a variable that I defined in the source. But if I would have done like OS or any O2 or any of these other optimization levels, the compiler would have removed it. It said there's no usage of this variable, but it left it in. So sure, make an IDA book and a Ghidra book. Where's the Binary Ninja book? I had to give Chris a hard time about that. And then I think there's one other one. So if we scroll through the and here's the actually better use is the feature map is probably a really good place for this because you can see like the elf headers, you can see the list of imports, you can see a couple of like the PLT entries, you've got early code, you've got a table of strings. This is the braille string, right? So it's hard to read. There's the x.i's, so it doesn't actually render it there. So here's a good one where this is actually a string table. So like all of the names for the tasks, and again, I can just hit A to make them all strings, even though they're not directly referenced. And so Binary doesn't create strings individually. And you'll notice that this is one of these extra tasks here at the end. No, GameMind, he does not use Binary Ninja. I've known Chris for 20 years now, almost. I think I've known him for a long time. I ran into him like literally at my very first DEF CON, and like neither one of us like remembered it until years later, and we're like, I think we've met already. So he's just kind of, he's like, I got too many tools I've learned and things to worry about. Like he had used, Ghidra was free and open source, and there were people like asking him to write a book on that. So and he was only a co-author on that one. So I keep trying to convince him to do it, but he hasn't yet. So Redbeard, another thing you're thinking is a feature to change or select the size of a function. Oh, okay. Now you've hit a hot topic for me. So explain more.
Oh no.
Explain more what you mean by the size of a function. So, and the reason I ask, Redbeard, and the reason that some people are saying oh no is because it's a bit of a pet peeve of mine. Let's go to a function here, for example. Let's actually go to main because that's a non-trivial function. And let's look at this like an assembly graph view, right? So we're looking at the actual kind of bytes. Close enough anyway. Josh already has the fix for this. The width calculation of the characters is off because of the Unicode encoding, and there's a fix for that. We just gotta land it. And you'll see the reason that we don't have that string size cranked up so huge is that there's long strings that makes the basic blocks really big, even though the rest of the code is not. Yeah, that was pretty fast sync there, right? Pretty seamless. And again, we're running this over like, an internet connected server. So this is not like we're on a LAN or anything. Now this is a relatively small challenge too. So the binary, the BNDB, it's gonna be pretty little here. So it should be pretty fast, I would hope. So the reason that I ask, the current function object in Binary Ninja has a thing called total bytes. And that's literally actually, I think, current function.basic blocks. I take a basic block and I think it's just, there's this size in the basic block, or is there a bytes? I mean, there's just the ends minus current function dot basic blocks 0 dot start, right? So this is the number of bytes in that basic block. And if I basically do that same thing over all of the basic blocks of the function, I get the sum of the bytes of the basic blocks of the function. Maybe that's what you mean by total size. But that's going to be different in some cases than the highest address minus the lowest address, which is another potential size of the function. Right, so you'll notice up here, the total bytes is 1124, and the highest minus lowest is 1, 1, 2, 3. Now, in this case, it may mean they're essentially equivalent, but it's just depending on how you're counting, there's an off by 1. But you can have discontiguous blocks. You can have data inlined in between basic blocks. This happens actually a lot on ARM. Compilers are starting to do like common function epilogues, where like if several functions end the same way, they'll all just jump over to one piece of code way far away, and then that's where they're actually returned from. And that will completely throw off all these calculations. Binary Ninja does not let you tell it what a function is. You tell it where the function starts, and it will just do its analysis and find all the code paths through that function, create all the basic blocks, and that's the size of the function. So there's really no concept of like, no, I want to make that function longer. What you can do is you can change the control flow. Like if there is an indirect control flow that is improperly calculated, there's ways you can change that to say, no, go find these other basic blocks, and then it will just, the analysis will continue and we'll update it and we'll figure that stuff out. But there's really no concept of like, add these bytes to this function, because the question is, well, how are they related to the rest of the basic blocks? Like the whole concept of a function is that it's a series of related basic blocks that are connected via some control flow, right? And so you can't like add new bytes to it without saying how they're related to the rest of it. Anyway, I'm gonna stop now, because like I said, this is a rant I go on a lot, and so people on stream have heard it probably many times if they've been around frequently. If you have an argument about why you should be able to edit the size of a function because there's functionality that you need for that, or because it fixes a bug or something, definitely let me know. I would love to hear it, because we are, like I said, in the middle of working on that UI that would let us edit properties of the function. And so now's the time to do it if there are things that we can add to it. All right. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with my function size rant. For now, we should just, somebody should get a timestamp and we should put it in the stream bot. Yeah, and on Slack it comes up, or on Twitter. Like it's silly, it's very minor, but it's my thing. I gotta have my rant. All right, so Josh, do you want to look at? I don't think we need to do too much more with Amongthem necessarily at this point. I think we might just go to Crazybomb if you want to go to that.
Yeah, I mean that works.
All right. And I'm trying to remember, we were working on Crazybomb before together, right?
Yeah, I don't remember where we got to.
Right? Me either. I don't feel quite so bad. So I'm gonna upload that one as well. That's actually
cool.
That's actually a pretty big binary.
Oh damn.
But
yeah, when you finish initial analysis, if you wouldn't mind saving, just so I can start off from the same place.
So it doesn't identify most of the code. This is the one where it has like a big blob. This was there was like the XOR. Yeah, there's like the internal, like it's gonna decrypt something, and it had to like, there was the XOR, like some constant value, I want to say. So
oh yeah,
let's see. Also, this is the one that like I swear there's like image data encoded in it, and if you get the with it, it totally is, right? Like that's a 4 or an A.
That's Among Us.
No, this is the Crazybomb one. It does. It does look like the little character that almost doesn't. There's something in there. It's telling me image data. And welcome, Valgrind. I saw you come earlier. Yeah, exactly. My rant comes up occasionally. All right, so let's go to me. Let's start there. Initializing next day. Okay, so.
Oh wait, isn't this the one? It had like bad elf headers.
No, I don't think so. Was there?
Didn't it? Check your error log.
Oh.
Yeah, like one of the things was -1 or something.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I think we don't need to worry about it yet.
Much.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, so it does a puts. Oh, so these are no. What did I want to do? Asterisk. Oh, that's right. I remember doing this before. We make strings here. So make those strings. They'll show up as string references. I don't even think I have to make them pointers. No, it already works. Yeah, it doesn't inline the strings because they're string pointers. And 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we should do like an override of, so verify identity, password, other things. Oh, that's what I was going to mention too on Amongthem real quick. The one function, so if you watch the stream, one of these functions had like a bizarre number of arguments in idas decomp. So this one looks like, I think this is CRC. And then this is, okay, so this is defeat. So this one's going to be CRC 32. And it's this is checksum. So this is the buffer. Oh, this is the task log, that's right. So it's the string of like the order that you do tasks, and it's gonna run that through CRC32, and if it's equal to the checksum, if it's not equal to checksum, you go to defeat, otherwise you go here, and it creates this key. So the one thing that I mentioned earlier, IDA does better is it detects that this is essentially this here is the XXT, or one of the T encryption algorithms. And this is a key, which is an array. Actually, it's that. And IDA basically gets the fact that this is an array of longs correctly. Like it auto-identifies that, which is nice. But the other thing that it did was it saw one of these earlier functions. I have to go back and look at the VOT, but it actually creates a totally incorrect number of, this is dots. It literally just displays dots and sleeps for that long. This is another one where like, oh, sleep for 1 second. Yeah, hit delete and hit binge and patch it out, right? And then resave the binary is super nice. Which one is this one? Looks like the either CRC or the, which one is that? Actually, I may have accidentally deleted the cross-reference that when I made some other change. Anyway, there was another function that I just like had like a bunch of arguments for. I must have just, I don't know why it got it wrong, but anyway, binary entry didn't. So anyway, okay, so let's go back to Crazybomb. Actually, I'm gonna save. Push that if anybody else wants to play with that. Ooh. Oh, you named it task list. I like yours. Yeah, task list is a better name. Good reversing. Thanks for
Yeah, thank you.
yeah.
I work on a reversing tool. Might have heard of it.
No, what's it called? Like what's yeah.
Oh, it's called a Binary Ninja Cloud.
Oh, I see what you did there. All right. So password we decided was Freeman, and then was there like, oh, and by the way, I think I can do this too. So I can actually name variables the same thing now. Symbols, that's another change that is, I don't know if it was in the last 2 weeks, but it's relatively recently. Symbols can overlap. So let's see, have you reversed more of this while I've been talking? Oh, fine, we'll go with your more verbose name. I'm okay with that. So I'm curious what you mean about how the analysis is wrong, Redbeard. If you have invalid code that's never executed right after a call. I mean, if the call is like a no return call. So yeah, so the binge away is instead of saying this function is only this many bytes big, you would just mark that call as no return. You can do it with the type system right now by just adding it as an attribute on the type. Once the type editor that's being worked on now is in as well, you'll just be able to like edit the function, click the check and say it's no return. And that will just stop all analysis afterwards automatically. Anything that you would need to say the function is only this big for, you should be able to solve through controlling how the control flow works or influencing control flow. There's a couple different ways you can do that. And I would argue that's sort of like the better way. Maybe it's just a different way. But that's kind of how we would approach that if I'm understanding the problem correctly. So, all right. Didn't we decide there was like just like this XOR key?
Yeah, I think so. Or it was like a byte reversal or something.
So let me see here. Let's go run Crazybomb. And please verify identity. So FR33M4N. Oh, does it have like some sort of alarm in it? I don't see a sig alarm in there. Hey, I didn't say you could pause. You get to walk through. You get to stop and turn around. He's just showing off now. That's my son allowed to walk through once a week. Yeah, I mean, it compares the username to Freeman, but why did it? Bomb, terminal stage, Crazybomb. But like it's backgrounding? What in the world is it doing? I don't understand why it's doing that. That's a little weird. It like backgrounds itself, but I don't see any timers unless it's doing that in some code that it unpacks or something. at least in the imports. If you just try to run it. I thought we ran it before and got past the first two stages, or maybe we just did it statically.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So in main, that syscall OX25 is alarm.
Oh, is there a?
Yeah.
There we go. So there's OX65. Do we not have? I thought we had types on syscalls that would annotate.
I think we do for common ones.
Apparently not for 29 srand. Okay, so call srand, but call with const value. Okay. What is syscall OX65?
ptrace.
Yes. And then
I'm just gonna patch that with alarm too.
now here's a question. Actually, I don't know. This is a good collab question.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, GameMind. GameMind pulled up that that offset. Okay, so the function is 4013 T2. Yeah, it's got one argument, which is the number of dots that you're supposed to call. I named dots, but I named working on when I saw this like working on message, but I didn't do like that was the analysis out of the box. So I have no idea why IDA like. I mean, again, to be fair, like decompilation's hard. There are things that IDA still does better than Binja, but I was very happy when I looked over. If you compare the output right out of the box on both of these, and you know, again with any tool, you have the ability to like any good tool, you have the ability to like change types, change how the analysis happens to fix up and improve things. And I didn't do anything either weird too. Like this binary was compiled with, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So the dots one is finish task. I mean, it takes a struct. Oh, I think that's because it took the struct itself as opposed to a pointer to the struct, and I'd have freaked out. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, Binja essentially just ignored the other stuff that wasn't used. It's like, yeah, there's other stuff passed in, but that's not used because it's the whole structure gets passed in and only the time field gets used. So Binja just created that argument by noticing it flowed into this one and then throwing away the rest. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean that's kind of on me for being a bad coder. Like that should have been just a pointer to the structure. So and this actually goes there is a little bit of a philosophical debate we sometimes have about like when binary ninja like sees things not being used and like how much should it throw things away and not show that. Sometimes you get better results this way. Sometimes you get better results by letting the user fix like the analysis because maybe there really is something going on that you want to show. And I could set the type with that structure information. I could create all that and have that get fixed up here and have it show me that it's actually the time property on that structure. Back to Crazybomb. All right, so let me see. Have you made any other headway on this thing?
Yeah, I kind of did something cursed. I patched, undid, repatched to something different. So wait, did you already pull?
No, I have not.
Try it. Hope it works.
This crashes. This is on you, man.
Yeah.
No, it's all right.
All right, check out main.
So, and actually, let me turn off show variables.
Oh, sick! It did work. Okay. Yeah, I just increased the timeout.
Oh, yeah, there we go. 1337. What a strange number.
Kind of keyboard mashed.
I mean, we could just like delete it.
Nah.
Wait, I kind of want to see if this works though. So if I just hit delete, and then
that looks so wrong.
Right? Hold on. Save file contents as, and we're gonna call this cbomb timeout. I mean, it looks like it's working. I'm telling you, I love that. I love delete is patch bytes and like in high level IL being like delete.
Just seeing it disappear, just
it feels like a superpower. It really does. It's my favorite, you know, stupid binary ninja trick. So now we've got time. Username's Freeman. And where did that comparison go? Congratulations, here's your reward. So this is success. But I don't see any references to success, so got some control flow we're missing. Oh, these look like color code.
Yeah, they are.
It's just a bunch of color stuff.
They're
That
wrapped standard out in that a lot.
Yeah. So we're gonna, that's where it's prompting that. And then what was this one? This one is just another one of their little color things. Initializing next stage. Okay, so initializing next stage, it doesn't, oh, stage 1 is actually further up. Oh, check identity is the one that does all this stuff, right? Yeah. Okay, so check identity is the one we're asking you for Freeman. And then, all right, where does password come through though? So minus 15, not equal to 15. So that's hex 30. It's not equal to hex 0. ASCII 0. One of these had that XOR check. So let's see, there's our verify identity username, verification, verify identity password. Right, so this is, oh, right, so verified identity username was up here, and then verified identity password is down here. But this says password prompt, oh, that's right, setting up for this one. So this was, right, bomb terminal stage 1. So this is input. This is like generic input here. All right. So let's see. Oh, I don't like that. It navigated me away. I thought you fixed that.
What happened?
I synced and it like navigated me somewhere else.
Oh, did you save before?
Yeah, I saved and it synced. And it made me go bye-bye.
No. That's weird.
Oh, and that definitely is stage number, by the way, because input takes that as an argument because it displays your stage number. So I'm gonna push that. Oh yeah, it did it again. It keeps navigating me away. So yeah, so if I look at the input calls, and then it asks me stage 1 again for password. So like you can get a different variable that it writes to. All right, so it compares Freeman down here. This looks like stuff that got XOR'd.
Yeah. No, there's just that 5BA900, I think, is the password.
5BA880, maybe?
880?
Hold on, I just lost it. Where'd it go?
Oh, no, this is just the minus 15 thing.
Oh, that looks like flag F something FLAG. No, that was something else.
Nah.
So that whole thing just gets minus by 15.
No, that 5BA900. Everything is minus 15.
Oh yeah, you can see that. You can see that because it's like just a bunch of nulls.
Yeah, and that it's just like looping over and doing that before reading it.
HSCTF, it's not going to be that easy. Just notice that one. It's fake file. Oh, you named it already. Yeah. Yeah. So if I want to, let's see, let's do this. Current selection. So it's going to give me the start and end address, and I can do bv.s equals that bv.read address and length. So the address is s sub 0, and the length is s sub 1 minus s sub 0.
I think I have too much selected.
Do I? I have every. I mean, it's all 15s. See, I'm not convinced. I think this thing is also like all the 15s are all throughout here. So, and actually down to here even.
Yeah, try it out.
So come to think of it, it could be as even as early as back here. It could be off like this. This even.
Jordan, I think you have a guest in the chat asking a question.
It looks like I do. He wants to watch Lord of the Rings, and I told him that the stream went too late. We would not have time to watch that tonight.
Oh, we can cut it whenever.
Well, we'll watch. It just means we're gonna watch. Hey, Fox, you should be excited about what we're working on. We're re-remembering all the stuff we've forgotten from before.
Redoing all the work.
Isaac, we will watch Endgame or Infinity Wars. Yeah, exactly. Valgrind. First, we have to fix all bugs we found. I think. Let's see what we got.
Honestly, that might be because I'm on a different build than you. This
Oh, that's
might
true.
have a change structure.
The navigation thing that I'm bringing to, because you guys,
Yeah, I don't
that's a
know.
recent fix.
Oh, that's super recent. That's like yesterday.
Yeah, that's quite possible. Yeah, I got the latest test build, but that wasn't necessarily the latest commit. It was just an older build. I think that got retriggered. Okay, so my current selection for those bytes, and I want bytes is equal to bv.read s sub 0 comma s sub 1 minus s sub 0. So there's my bytes. I think if it's a byte array, I should be able to just do.
Yeah, sub 15.
Can I really? No.
Yeah, do list comprehension, sub 15.
Oh, list sorry. So yeah, I keep hitting the wrong key. X for X and B, like this,
Yep.
and then
And then just
map it to
empty string dot join or whatever.
B.
It might need to be an empty byte. Yeah, that works too.
Map. Actually, I wish. Yeah, I was. Yeah, that looks right. Because I see if you
Yeah.
can do it with your eyes closed. So HSCTF. Oh, that's right. This is where we got last time, I think.
Oh, is this the first flag?
There's a flag there.
Okay.
Trace.
Gordon.
Tracer PID. I wonder if that's the password.
Oh my god.
And
Please
Gordon.
empty string join these.
Oh, fine. What is null's gonna do? Yeah.
Thank you. Here was it.
Actually, hold on. Let's just write it right back directly in place, right? So bv.write takes what?
No. That'll break so much.
Why?
Because it'll sub OX15. We need to patch out all the places that sub OX15s. Because then the binary won't run.
Oh, no,
It'll be all
binary won't
static code.
run. I just wanted to see it, but yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we can just name the strings like what they are.
I mean, sure. Okay, so yeah, like this is the first one. Name. Can I do this funky? I can.
God.
Tracer PID is this one, which actually doesn't exist. What type do we want to make this? I mean, kind of want it to be a char star, but how long is this?
11 bytes with a null byte at the end.
Good enough. Tracer PID, and then Gordon was the next one. Oh, there's a Tracer PID colon and
Oh,
then
there's
a
a
tab.
tab.
Well, there's a colon then a tab. I mean, it doesn't really matter because we're not.
Oh wait, there's a colon, a new line, and a tab.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So that's a prompt. That's definitely not whatever. It's gonna decode to run. Let's see if you can eyes closed. So this is Gordon, and this is eyes closed. Hey, let's go see if Gordon works. Gordon does not work for the password. Maybe it's the way around. Oh, it's the other way around.
Yeah. Because Gordon Freeman.
Yeah. And so then it prints the flag.
Prints the flag. Cool. Solve this. Wait.
Somehow I feel like that's not the.
Are you gonna need to automate interaction or something? Is that the?
It's gonna give us 100 or something. Interesting. Okay, so.
No. I'm gonna look at that solve this string.
Oh, look at that persistent search.
It's referenced in different places.
Just 2. So persistent search and then also persistent cross references. So now I've got.
How do you open persistent search?
When you do a search, you can just click find all.
Oh.
And it will make the results persistent.
Wow, that would have been very nice during DEF CON.
Yeah, and then if you were in cross references and you hit Shift X, you're gonna get the persistent pinned cross references. No, I don't think there's any timers, Fox. We've removed all of the timers, I believe.
That's on timer. There might be another timer. I didn't look for all.
What was this calls?
Yeah, we'll see.
So the ptrace is call. That's just called 13E. I don't know what that is.
OX13E. What is that?
Yeah. but that's the only. Yeah, we've already removed the other one. So
Yeah. Oh, actually, that was open for a long time. What is this? Wait,
60.
this is 64-bit, right? Yeah.
Yes.
318. Oh, that's just get random. Okay.
Interesting. Although, but it was, but they called srand earlier. Now, srand though is not the syscall based one. That's just the libc. What is this? That is really funny padding.
Wait, what?
I think that looks like compiler padding. Like I'm pretty confident this is if I make this a function, it's literally going to be like, yep, that's one of those long knob things. But like that
Wow.
alignment is weird.
Does stuff just like fall through that little region?
Did it make some other functions there when I was nearby?
Yeah, we really need to finish the syscalls. I think we have types for the syscalls, but not names. Like I think the enum just needs to be flushed out.
Yeah, I know I've seen them before. Oh, there's the solve this. So solve this. All right, so this is stage 2. I hit the wrong hotkey. All right, let's see if we collided any of our RE. Oh, we didn't that time. Nice. Is it actually looking for the correct answer though? Oh, %HU, %S, %HU. So HU, is that a hex value even though it displayed it as decimal?
No, HU is a 16-bit.
Is it just 16-bit?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's half unsigned.
Okay. So that should have been correct, and the timer shouldn't really matter. So why did
What was the no? It's half unsigned. Is it scanf HU also? Because we put in a value greater than 16 max.
Oh, they intentionally want you to like, okay, that's, well, let me just try that real quick. So let's just try Gordon.
Oh no, the scanf is LU. Oh, and then they do a bunch of random checks.
Yeah, I mean, just like the straight math on that is not correct. So what are they doing? So if you don't send anything, they call puts of times, minus, plus,
Yeah.
and then XOR, right? So those are the possible cases you can get. So R12 is operation. Could actually make that an enum for 2, 3, 1. So
Oh yeah, so that's actually determined by like and 3
the
of the
random.
second rand bytes or first rand bytes. Yeah, I named a couple things in here.
Yeah. Okay.
You can also just hit save. It syncs.
Oh, okay. Just hit control S. Actually,
Yeah, control S.
should do the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, it does the same.
Good.
It just listens for save and then.
Today I learned. Good. That saves me from having to click down there. All right. So yeah, we've got the different operations. Oh, yeah. And then these, so let's actually make those strings. Oops. Oh, that's fine. I hit it on the wrong offset. It still worked. There we go. So now we can see in line that the multiply does line up. So they're not doing anything tricky where like it lies. Like the operation does match that. Yeah, game mentions half unsigned is unsigned short. So I'm definitely not having to worry about rolling over, especially like on that XOR operation. Wait, yeah. On the XOR, like anything over wouldn't really matter. So 2366 should be the right result for that math, unless how do they want it back in? I don't see the actual.
It's just %LU.
So
at a
yeah,
36.
I see it. Yeah. So
and it checks that you only input one.
that you input something within range of max int to, max signed at max. Well, 32-bit anyway.
It converts it to signed.
If RDX is 22 and is equal to that.
What?
Which one is?
Wait, RDX is 22.
Error no location? That doesn't feel right. Hold on. No, that's I don't know why.
What was the output it gave when you gave the wrong answer?
Failure terminating.
Okay, so just hit there.
Yeah, we could just patch the random to always return 1 just temporarily.
This is weird. It doesn't have a back edge. I thought this would be a loop.
Is it outside? Well, yeah, because
Oh,
like
wait, what?
no, no, I think yeah. Oh yeah, I know. You expect you have to do it multiple times. I think you only have to get it right once.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm so cracking up by this like padding. It just looks
Wait,
cute.
did you put in the right answer?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know, right? Like,
Oh, yeah,
so this one,
yeah. I believe in you. You can do it in your head.
right? Oh, yeah. I don't have to worry about size there. So yeah,
All right, cool.
yeah. I mean, we can fix the random, but like, I don't still understand why it's wrong. I mean, I assume part of the challenge was to get the timing. If we didn't patch out the syscalls. There we go. Hold on. Why is there? Okay, so there's some math happening on the random number here. Oh no, that's weird. So why do they use like this secure like random with the syscall up top, and then they just straight up call rand down below? Like that doesn't make any sense. Rand when it was srand with a constant value.
I think it's just to obfuscate it with the syscall.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's any purpose. Like you need to do it once. You're not gonna unwind whatever.
But like they're using two totally different systems of entropy, right? Like they have the actual syscall, and then they're just calling libc's srand with a constant value, and then calling rand. So they call rand the libc random generator, and then they also use the syscall to use like the kernel directly to generate
Oh wait, they
randomness
strand with a random value. What?
with the constant value. Yeah, earlier on they called srand with a constant value.
Oh, that's weird.
So this Rex 17, which gets actually is that the only random
Yeah.
result? Yeah, they're later in this same function.
Oh yeah. That's the first in here.
So let's do the pin cross references.
But I think we're hitting the error condition at 3060.
So let me do that one for a second. That's a lot of RAMs. I think
Wait, what?
I did some pin cross references,
That
and
is they're all at the same address.
oh, because they're variable references. Oh, he just filed that bug. I think actually, look at this. Duplicate variable references showing up. When the variable shows up twice in the same normal instruction, there'll be two variable xrefs as well. And it shows up
Cool.
the
Yeah.
xrefs. So, all right, that's one we don't have to worry about. Or a bajillion instead of just two. We can provide this as a test binary. Good evening, Mozart. Yeah, we're just kind of like making our way through the Crazybomb. We solved it once before. We had to remember how we had done it. Thankfully, it took us significantly less time this time. So we're on to stage 2. Later stages, it's got to be like decrypting later portions of itself, I would think. So we'll probably have to wire up a debugger.
I mean, honestly, here that would be the way I'd go. I'm trying to do this all statically.
I know.
Literally just took up a debugger on the actual check.
Oh, look at this though. This is great. See, this is such a good binary to talk about like function size. Because look, there's these 2 bytes. There's like literally an op in the middle of the basic blocks just for alignment purposes. So do you count that as part of the function or not?
Yeah, this is HSCTF.
Which we knew from the flag, the first flag that we solved.
Yeah, that's what a game mind was saying.
I don't think we actually knew. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's only one call to exit fail on stage 2. So unless we're passing this check and failing a check right after.
Oh yeah, and the other one is beep boop. So this is going to be failure terminating probably. Wait a minute, that doesn't look right. So you're talking about like the 2DA9 comparison? Oh, there's a dynamic function. So there's a function pointer here that's created on the fly and written to. So it's like dynamically calling some function here.
No, I mean, we might be hitting the exit fail at 3060. And then I was going up back to the caller to see if that has exit fail in it.
Wait, 3060. I don't even see that is.
It's in stage 2.
Yeah, 3060
Yeah.
is not code for me.
What?
Is not code for me. That's just padding.
I'm in HLIL.
I'm an HLIL.
That says 3060. I don't know. No, scroll up.
Ah, what did I just do? Okay.
Well, go to stage 2.
Oh, wait.
3060 is in there. It's not linear, like.
Right. Stage 2.
Yeah, 3060, you just scroll past it.
Oh, sorry. This exit fail. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I
So I
gotcha.
don't know if we're hitting that. Like scanf is just for whatever reason dying on our input. I
Um,
doubt it, but who knows?
well, I think actually you're right
Navigating
because
crossrefs in HLIL is pretty buggy, actually.
hmm?
Like if you go up to stage 2, just like go to xrefs for stage 2,
Yeah.
and then double click that.
Oh, right. That it doesn't select the actual call to
Yeah,
stage
that
2.
is the total wrong thing to select.
Yeah. Yeah, it
And stage 2
is.
call actually doesn't show up in HLIL.
I'm curious why that is, actually.
Oh yeah, okay. So if it's equals 0, we exit fail. So what does it return?
So I kind of want to see where the stage 2 call goes away. Wait, is the stage 2 itself? Hold on.
What is that error no location?
Right? Right? Like they're using they're putting the return value of that and then
Comparing to OX22.
yeah, I don't know what's going on with that one.
Yeah, that's super weird.
So what do we decide 3100 is?
3100?
Yeah, the function. Oh, I guess that's
Oh, 3100 is just like the.
I think that is stage 2.
Or are we in the internal stage 2 right now?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's 3100. Yeah, cuz yeah, that's this is called all the random stuff. 3100.
Okay, yeah. So this is not stage 2, this is math problem.
Yes. Yes. This is stage 2. And look, we'll each change half the problem.
All right. So it's returning. Yeah, this is weird. It's comparing that R12 to -1, which RDX2
Wait.
needs to be OX22.
Oh, hold on. Maybe this is just stage 1 still? No. This is still math. What is this other you're a wizard? I mean, there's the flag. Like, did you already get that out? Or is that the flag we got from the first one?
That's a flag from the first one.
Why is it referenced here? So I think they've got some like checksumming so that if you tried to like jump straight to the second phase or do something without properly solving the first one, like it hadn't actually decrypted in memory, it wouldn't work.
Oh, cool.
Because like there's a pointer reference to our flag from before.
Yeah. I mean, that just looks like a decrypt.
All right. Well, I'm closing in on time for movies with the kids, but let's. Oh, which wire do you want to cut? Oh, that part looks fun.
Yeah, so we redid part 1 way faster. And now part 2, that error no location is really weird.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at like disassembly, they write 0. Wait, hold on. What is error no 22?
Just returns the address of the error no variable for the current thread.
No, hold on.
EI val.
E range, numerical result out of
Oh.
range. Do you specifically, you have to give it an invalid value?
Wait, really?
I mean, hold on.
That's funny. That's oh yeah, that is after the scanf.
So if I just give it like, and not FF, let's just give it like, yeah, like really big number. No, failure terminating. Maybe you have to hit like, but it
No, because you need EI value. So you might need the valid number first and then like a letter after to hit that.
no, because that one was no. OX22 is range. Numerical
Oh,
result
it's
out of range.
oh.
It's E range. So scanf E range. Scanf says error number E range if the result of. And also, do we want that to be the case or do we not? Because that may be. Which logic is it?
If the result, you want it to be that.
Okay. Then yeah. So
Result integer conversion would exceed the size. Oh, so we want to set it to like
negative
yeah, you could set it to the 2's complement. That would work.
of the actual value or just like pick it up like
Of the
Nexus?
expected.
Okay.
Because it would LU.
All right. So Gordon FR33M4N.
Would it? Oh, or you might need the. Oh, I think you need the correct value and then like an invalid value immediately after. I don't know. I don't know, scanf.
Oh, I mean, so let's see. Oops. Where's the scan?
It's great. I basically have like I dictate and then reverse engineering and debugging happens on my second monitor without any of my input.
It's just like
I just need to wait.
slightly delayed, and then you just get to watch it
Yeah.
happen. There was only two teams able to solve this, and they compete nationally in CTFs. Well, I used to compete in CTFs, so I'm kind
No,
of like
neither
a
of us have ever
has-been.
competed in CTFs.
Pretend
We
like
are both complete.
pure developers. We have never played
Yep.
CTF.
Nope. What is a CTF? I play
Uh,
Halo.
right? You mean like capture the flag in my
Yeah.
opponent's base? No, I mean it's just doing the percent %u. It's only ever going to read out a single value. So we're going to return a single unsigned value into var138. Like that is the result.
But we need it to be
But
we need it to be out of range and also
we need to be.
match the expected value.
I think that's fine because,
Does scanf actually store if it's out of range?
well, let's find out. Have undefined value if the result of this operation cannot be represented as an integer.
That sounds like maybe. I can test this. I have a compiler.
So I mean, I kind of feel like, yeah, we should just do the two's complement. So two's complement is and it with all f's. But how do I do some Python? And what size is this? 64-bit or 32-bit?
Oh, Python 2's complement is impossible. I literally shell out to a C, like just tiny program.
Someone's got this online. So
I'm just like, oh, display it as hex, and it's like, oh, okay, here's a negative value in front.
input
Or negative
requires
sign.
11 bits. 8 bits were specified. Decimal. So negative. But you don't want a negative value because it will be wrong, correct? Also, that's funny. Wait, what? This website's the worst. These are only doing 8-bit. Like, why are these all 8-bit things? These all these online JavaScript 2's complement things, and they're all 8-bit. All right, so if you actually just written out the C to do this, because it's my job to do
Well,
it.
I'm just seeing if it stores the value even if it's out of range. Which actually that would be interesting if it does.
I mean, it has to, or this code is not possible, right?
Wait, does it? Oh my god.
It would have to.
Wait, but what value is that?
Oh, I guess that's the trick, right?
Yeah, no, it does. If it's out of range, it just stores all Fs. But if it's negative, what happens?
Yeah, so I think that's essentially what we have to do is we have to like abuse the libc scanf. This is not result, this is input. Input, and then this is results. So we want result to the resulting value should be within signed 32-bit. Yeah, it must be 7F. Right. That's
Signed 32-bit?
signed 32-bit maxint.
Oh, but they read LU into it.
They're gonna set the return code to fail if any of these are there. Although, yeah, okay. So we have to get to here. We have to get to the R15 is equal to 0.
Pull. Yeah, I renamed it to success.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what I was about to rename it. So if I save, it doesn't actually pull though.
It does.
I mean, I'm hitting Control S.
Oh, maybe I named something else. Or wait, did I? Yeah, I synced.
It's when I hit Control S, it's not syncing. I'm
Oh,
certain.
maybe you have that disabled.
Oh, is that an option?
Yeah, it's a setting. It's like sync on save or something. Or maybe I have that enabled. I forget if it's default.
Oh, yeah, it's not enabled by default.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's really nice.
Okay, but also you didn't name that success.
I didn't?
I don't think so. I just did.
Oh, okay. What did I name success?
Oh.
Oh, the actual return value?
I mean, also that one.
You know, the one that's set to 0 or 1?
If math problem 1. Oh, yeah, there's more to this too then, right? So, oh, no, hold on.
Let's see, user.
Oh, yeah. This is, okay, so this is, wait, what? What is the one labeled math problem then?
Math problems, wait, are there, oh, there might be multiple. Oh, yeah, go back.
Totally are. There totally are.
Math problem 1.
Yeah.
It's called.
Yeah, so this is actually
Okay.
second math problem. Because like the parent function that one that was 3100 that we're currently calling like stage 2. I really want that UI refactor where stage 2 stays on top of the screen so I can tell what function I'm in.
Oh, that's it. If arg1 is 1, then it prints the problem. Otherwise, it doesn't print the problem. So that's where the srand comes in. And you just need to predict or like calculate the next numbers.
Why do you have to know the random map? I mean,
Please go into Graphview.
yeah.
Yeah, so HLL Graphview. Go down to like in math problem 2E88 or something. Like one of those branches with the printf. Yeah, so there. That conditional puts down bottom left of your screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if arg1 is 0, then it puts it. So for first stage, it puts it, and then it just doesn't put it, and it sends you the result. So this is duplicated code. I don't know why, but that's actually a cool concept. I like that. You could learn a lot about srand from this.
I still don't see how this requires anything with srand.
Because they
Here.
don't print the problem to you if arg1 is not equal to 0. So you need to predict what the next problem will be.
Oh, I got you. Right.
So that's a cool concept. I have 11 snapshots. Okay. The hard part of this isn't predicting the randomness. It's literally inputting the number, which is really funny.
Yeah.
At what point is one of us just going to break and pull out a debugger?
Next week, because I'm going to go watch a movie tonight with my kids right now. I think it's time to pause it, but we can take this up next week and continue working on it. I mean, it's good. It's good practice. We've definitely lost some of our audience from running a little bit long.
Yeah.
But
and I've exposed why I only do web and crypto.
I've never been the best at RE stuff, but I enjoy it nonetheless. So second math call is gone. I do think there's a potential binge. Like I don't know why the call to second math problem wasn't showing. No, that was showing up, wasn't it? It was the cross references. That was the issue.
Yeah, cross-reference navigation, and the call to the first math problem wasn't showing up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and no, patching it out, you'd ideally want to work around this because I don't know the actual problem, but there might have been a server that takes your input, so you can't just patch out the alarm, and that would enforce you to do it in the time limit. So you want to get it working with the original binary, so you can use it on any remote server, regardless, and it'll work.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
if
not
there
hard
wasn't a server, then patch it.
With the srand const, actually, yeah, that's a good question, Fox. Was this run on a server and then you were also given the binary? Like the binary you were given had the flags patched out, or was...
I think that's what that memory was, with it's not going to be so easy. Like on the server, I think that would be the real flag. You know, that's a pretty common pattern.
No, I think that was just like a dummy flag, like the one I put in for Crazybomb that was like just a string put in the binary. I could see this either way. I could see this totally being they just gave you the binary. But I could also see this being an online server. Yeah, thanks, Valgrind Mozart. Yeah, I think this has also been a very good demo of collab because I think that it has worked. And again, this is actually like a decent sized binary. So there's not a ton of like functions in it yet though, because it's got all this other like data that's either compressed or an image or whatever else is going on with it. What?
You're probably right. That's I don't know, probably a compressed bitmap or something.
I'm telling you, it is. Like, still 100%. Like, this is like
you can. No, it doesn't look compressed. But...
Well, like it could be ECB encrypted or something, right? Like,
oh, true.
I'm telling you, there's going to be like a width of the feature map that's going to make that look like a picture.
Like the old spectrogram Stego challenges.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm convinced there is structure in this thing that.
All right, I'm gonna head out. I'll let you do the outro for the stream. You know, with that famous catchphrase, and I'll let you think of a famous catchphrase.
Yeah, it's like quick think of my famous catchphrase.
All right, it was fun though.
Exactly, I had a good time.
Bye. Thanks, bye, chat.
Everybody in the stream, thanks for coming out, Josh. Yeah, because this is no fun to do something that long by myself. So I appreciate you hopping in. Chat, any last questions? Okay, so there's the same binary, and it was an RE challenge. I mean, so RE challenges can be a remote too, though, right? Like you could still totally make this an RE challenge where like you had to RE understand it and then throw it against a remote server. Just because like, you know, again, it forces you to understand it locally, but then you still have to throw it against something else. So thanks, Isaac. Fox, no stream next week. So check out the beginning of the VOD with the schedule posted, but also where we talk about it. All our streams are going to be every other week from now on. So we're going to be on a week, off a week. But in the off weeks, you're going to be getting out like the edited videos from the previous weeks. So you'll be getting edits where we'll pull out the Binary Ninja Basics overviews. And some weeks we'll be getting like condensed stream edits where you can see like what happened without having to watch the whole stream. So if you miss a week, you can catch up on it more easily that way. In the meantime, yeah, we still got the backlog. So if you haven't seen all the old streams, welcome to go back and check those out. But every other week is the new plan. Again, thanks everybody for hanging out. If you did, I appreciate it. And we will catch. Yeah, what is my catchphrase? Somebody think of a catchphrase for me. But anyway, take care.